I think I forgot to do that a second ago. So it's February 16th. You have joined Team Heather's Zoom call. Housekeeping note. Another housekeeping note is the success kits that were given out on Super Saturday. There were people that weren't able to get those if they weren't actually there. They were going to be shipping those to those people. It has come to my attention that we had an influx of signees, ambassadors signing on after Super Saturday. So the success kits, the ones that I was going to give to those people who signed people on from Super Saturday to that day whenever they decided to finally start shipping them out with the orders, I'm going to have to wait until they make those available in the back office. So I wanted to give you that info. But they are going out with all new ambassador orders. So it's just the ones that you want to buy. If you want to buy those on your own to give to somebody, then we'll have to wait till those are available. And I don't know exactly when. They're on their way. It seems like they may be on the slow boat to China from China. Anyway, I am so excited tonight to get to have sweet Amy Johnson on the call with us. And Amy is on our team. She is, she's got a great story that I've asked her to share, and she has so gracefully accepted that invitation. And I want you to know, Amy, we are all sitting here wanting you to succeed at giving your testimony. So I know there's a little bit of nerves that come with sharing and being vulnerable. And I just want you to know that you're among friends, and we appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone to share with us your story. So I'm going to give you the floor, and I've told Amy she can say as little or as much as she would like. And take it away.
Hey everybody, thank you Heather for having me and making me step out of my comfort zone. I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm super nervous, so you guys bear with me. I have everything written here on little cheat cards. But I am excited because I know that this opportunity alone has just helped me health-wise in a lot of different ways, but this opportunity is one I don't want to pass up. So, I'll definitely will step out of my comfort zone to not miss anything that I do have an opportunity to do. So it's way out of my comfort zone, just saying. All right, but I do want to share my story because I know that it does inspire people, and so if I can inspire anybody, that inspires me to keep going. I guess I'm just going to kind of start with my story and kind of tell you how I even got started in Plexus to begin with. I was pretty miserable and pretty unhealthy and in pain a lot. And I call them my phantom pains. And I don't think I've ever explained that to anybody. I just kind of say it's my phantom pains. But I literally was going to the doctor quite a bit with just random pains and throughout my body. It could be my shoulder one time, it was my knee another, my feet another time, and MRI after MRI, and doctors couldn't find anything wrong with me. And it got to the point where the insurance company finally said, no more MRIs. So at that point, I kind of just felt like it was something wrong with me. It's not, it's not physical, it's something else. I just gave up. And I kind of went on my way, and things got a lot worse. And I gained a lot more weight and just got a lot more unhealthy. At my point where I knew that I needed to do something, and hard things were happening. Couldn't go up my stairs anymore in my new house, and without being out of breath and have to stop halfway up, things like that. But I saw April, and April's the one that actually sponsored me. And the way it kind of happened, I just kept seeing her post on Facebook. And even back when I was seeing all her posts and seeing her little pink drink, I really didn't realize that it was something that could help me with my problem, because my problem was weight, right? That's what I thought it was. Nothing else. It couldn't be anything different. So she's talking about health and how it's helping everybody be healthy. It took me around a while to see that it was more wrong with me than just my weight. But she was constantly on that Facebook with her little drink and doing her thing. And I think at one point I saw something about Hawaii, and it just kind of sparked my interest to kind of look more and start snooping into her friends' pages and see what they were doing. And I saw a lot of people, were being very successful with losing weight, and it was people that were real. It's not just ads that I'm seeing in a paper or on an ad on Facebook or something. It's real people. And so I decided to, take the plunge and see what this Plexus stuff was all about. I actually signed up wholesale just because I wanted to save the money. Couldn't afford to do it, and I knew that if I was going to start doing it, I wanted my husband to do it too. So I tried to plan ahead on that fact. Let's go ahead and do it where I can get the deepest discount. And but it happened, and I just honestly wasn't consistent, and I gave up because I thought it wasn't working for me. I wasn't doing it, like taking it every day and drinking it every day. So I didn't feel the effects of it working because I wasn't using it correctly. But I think the main reason was because I was a closet user and I didn't want anybody to know about it. And without that support that I've had, we'll get to the story, but the support I got afterwards, without that support, I wasn't able to be successful with it. And the reason why I say successful with it, honestly, is because I feel like it is a success in everything where I've gotten to. But I quit taking it. I quit buying it. Which we always joke about me being April's first white line on her little ambassador list. And it was a while, and I didn't go back. But during that time, it got worse, and my condition and everything just continued to get worse. I guess the one more. I'm trying to think of the landmark or the point where I just knew that I had to go back to Plexus was our vacation. We went to Colorado. Actually went to see my nephew graduate, but we kind of made a little mini vacation out of it. And the mountains, you have to hike. I mean, you're in Colorado. The mountains are huge. And it wasn't even the mountains that were the bad thing. Is this hill that we went down, and it was very steep, and my knees just kept buckling. And it was very embarrassing for me because I'm with my sister and her husband and my nephews, and can't get back up the hill. So they literally have to figure out how to drive down this hill to come back and get me and to take me back up. So that was one sign that kind of really made me think, this is getting worse. I have to do something. Not even a month later, or just a few weeks later, actually, my granddaughter's birthday party. It always sticks out in my head, and it's really hard for me to talk about this part. Take a drink, excuse me.
It's okay. This is all about being vulnerable. We appreciate you. We appreciate you doing this. It's not easy. I understand.
It's always a spot too.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
okay.
it may not seem much to anybody, but it was a lot to me. I had gotten down on the floor to help her open her presents on her first birthday. And I could not get back up. I mean, it was very embarrassing because I had to have everybody help me up. And, I'm not an old lady, I shouldn't be, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody by saying that, but I'm 41 years old, and I shouldn't be in that pain where I can't get up off the ground. And that was the major sign. And that's when I called April back, and I told her it's time, I need to get started again. And I asked her what to take, and I started the triplex as soon as it came in the mail. And I have not stopped the triplex since. At that point in June, right before my order came in June, I went to the doctor and had all my blood work done, and my lipids, triglycerides were the ones that were high. First of all, I was 80 pounds overweight. I had gained weight since the gap of taking Plexus. My triglyceride levels were very high. We have health issues that go through my family that's just something you don't want to mess with. After taking, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but the blood work I got back on my last test, guys, and everything's perfect 6 months later, just by the way. And they, when I say high, it was in the high level. But as soon as I started triplex, everything was pretty instant. with me as far as the effects that I felt immediately the craving for water. I was always thirsty. I didn't crave anything sweet. It was instant. It was just like gone. I wasn't eating those huge 3-4 meals a day. I just started eating littler meals. I wasn't as hungry, or not even really that you're really hungry sometimes. Just you want that food, you crave it, and you won't feel like if you're bored, you have to eat. All that stuff went away within the next, I would say the first 2 weeks. It was just pretty instant, which I feel lucky that way. But I did add exercise immediately too. I think a lot of that had to do with it. I was I had the motivation to actually start walking and doing aerobics and things like that I would never have done before. Granted, still overweight, and so it was still difficult, and I still had pain, but it decreased the more I moved and the more I continued taking and losing weight. So everything got a lot better. I averaged about 2.5 pounds a week of weight loss while I was working out. And then when I didn't, because I did come to a point where I went on vacation and came back, and I just didn't want to, I don't know, it kind of went into that lazy phase and stopped working out. Things got a lot busier around here too, though. But at that point, I was still consistently losing 1 pound a week. So at that point, I would say December, I was, what things had changed. I've lost 50 pounds. I'm now at, well, I would say I'm now at 60 pounds, but I actually have gained 3 pounds recently from working out. So that kind of made me nervous, but it's okay. It's just muscle. But I have lost 50 pounds in December, and then January, it was a quick 60 by the end of January. But the other things, it's not just about the weight loss. I used to take Wellbutrin for depression. I no longer take that. I think after 2 months of being on the triplex, I no longer, actually it was when I added the accelerator. I would say about a month after I added the accelerator with the triplex, the Wellbutrin, I just weaned myself off slowly and just forgot about it. I quit drinking alcohol daily. I don't really know. It was a combination of the depression plus the pain of my daily use of alcohol. Junk food addiction's gone. I can't even stop at a fast food restaurant without getting nauseous, and my daughter hates that because she likes her McDonald's. The phantom pains are gone, guys. I don't have them anymore. I don't hurt. I used to step out of bed and my pain would just go shoot up on my legs. It's gone. I can work out. My knee doesn't swell. Just so everybody knows, I do work out daily. Do resistance training. I do weights as well, and I do cardio. I walk. I'm almost to the point where I feel like I'm about ready where I can start jogging, and that's huge. It's huge because my knees were so bad. But I'm building that strength up in my knees. You know, this exercises. I do have a trainer that's helping me out right now, and so we're taking it slowly. But I'm building everything up. And guys, I mean, not just my body. It's like my personality is different. I do things like this, which I would have never done. And I know it's getting easier. It is every time. But at work, it's even extended out through my job to where I'm doing things that I would have never done before. I'm stepping up and I'm helping my coworkers. We actually have a fitness challenge that we're doing right now that I put together for us, and everybody's excited about it and everybody's participating. And I'm hoping to extend that throughout our platform, and we're working on that. But there's other projects that I've gotten involved in that I would have never done before. So I'm more outgoing in that way. I know that I have goals now, like I've set them and I actually meet them. It's just so many things that Plexus has done for me besides just the weight. It's my marriage. It's better than it's ever been. I don't want to go into details, but we've been, most marriages, you've been through it all. We're at the best place that we've ever been. And it's kind of crazy to say that we've been together now, I don't even know how many years, a long time. But it's great. And we support each other and we're there for each other. And we're succeeding together. It's just crazy how things just work and fall into place. I'm in school, so my grades have improved since I've been taking Plexus, which I think that's more of being able to focus. I could go on and on. I don't want to take up the entire meeting, but it's been a ride, and I look forward to continuing it. And hopefully, my goal, of course, is to build my team and help other people do the same thing and feel the same experience that I have.
Thank you, Amy. I feel like if we were there, we'd be like giving you a standing ovation. So we'll give you a clap. How about that? A clapping ovation. All of us who are here to support you. I love your testimony. I love that you didn't give up, and when you realized that things weren't working out quite the way you wanted them to, you were humble, humble enough to go back to April and say, I might need a little bit more help. And I'm very proud of you for that. And I love also that you were able to get down on the floor now and get back up. It's amazing to me, honestly, how different our lives look when we feel better. You know, I know just for myself, when I felt my worst, you really don't really, and as someone who has also struggled with depression in my life, it is one of those things where if you have not ever struggled with that, it can be debilitating. You don't even want to get out of the bed. You just think, well, you know, things aren't going the way I want to, and I don't really see how it could. And I commend you because, Amy, that is a huge step to get back on track, start working out, do things that you've never done before. She didn't really go into a lot of detail about this thing at work that she started, but they've actually asked her to get involved with starting up this challenge, and all these people are participating, and they have such a good leader because she's been there, done that. So I continue to applaud you as you do this journey, and like for all of you guys, I am here for you. And anything I can do to help make things run smoother for you guys, then I definitely want you to know that I'm here for that. So thank you, Amy, for sharing your heart on that. I really appreciate that. I want to get down to some basics because I think it's a necessity. And my eyesight, I'm just going to be back with this on and off because I have my notes here. And I'm going to try to read from those so that you guys can hear my heart on some things. So recently, I've been talking to a lot of people on this team. But one of the things that's kind of resonated pretty much with a lot, it's kind of a underlying pattern that I really want to address. And that is this, and that is for those of us who have done this for a long time and those of us that are new at this. Sometimes it's good just to get back to the basics. So I kind of went through in my preparations for this, and I wanted to highlight some things that I think are necessities for good business building, just good practices that we all need to be really looking at whether or not we are doing these things. So if you guys have a pen and paper to take notes or however you feel best, I'm recording the call, so we will definitely put it back out there if you missed some of the questions or not tonight. But some of the things that really, sometimes I get caught up in having done this for a while, and so I forget that not everybody has. And so one of the things that I was thinking was, if you have somebody new that you sign on as an ambassador, and I know that wasn't clear the other day when I was talking about it on Facebook. Some people had some questions. I think it was Jackie or maybe Cheryl. When I say level 1 ambassador, that just means basically you have personally sponsored an ambassador under you. So what goes on in your preparation for really helping this new person learn kind of what it's all about to be a business builder, and also what behaviors are going to help them be duplicatable? Because in the end, all of this is basically null and void if we don't learn to teach people to grow their teams. And so here's kind of where I want to start from the basics, is I want you to kind of imagine, even if you've been doing this for a while, I think this is good information to go back to. First of all, we always, whether you're trying to get a customer or an ambassador, first of all, the people are most likely going to be trying the products, right? So we want to make sure that the people that we are kind of recruiting, we are explaining to them how to use the products. And so this would be my first thing is you have to first be a product of that product in order to be able to share with them, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take the products, which some people, like Amy's story, she was consistent for a while and then kind of backed off. If that is your story, get back on the track that you need to be on so that you can be speaking from a first-person perspective, because it's going to give you a lot more motivation to talk to people if you're seeing things in your life that are getting better because of the products. So say you have a new ambassador and you've shared with them and they've decided they are going to jump on board, either as a customer or as an ambassador. What I would say to you is this. You have to, from the beginning, if they decide to join on with you as an ambassador, you have to decide from what they've told you whether or not they're wanting to be an ambassador just to get the discount, or just to get their products paid for, or if they are really into it to make this a business. Because we all know that when you have somebody on your team as an ambassador, it's not really going to do them a lot of good if you start trying to train them and they really don't care about the business. So I say that to say, once you've taken the product and you've shared with them, then you're going to want to figure out, is this customer possibly a potential ambassador? I feel like every customer can be a potential ambassador. They may not see that. They may not have the belief in themselves that they could do a business, but you just keep that in your back pocket for right now, because they may not see it either yet. So it's great. Get your customers, because from happy customers come happy ambassadors. So you're going along, and if you decide they want just the discount, then you let them, you treat them like a customer. You follow up with them, make sure the products are working. Don't let them just drop off, because maybe at some point when the products are working well enough, they might decide, I think I might do this as a business. So make sure you check and see if they want to just do it as a discount or if they want to work it as a business. Now, one of the things that I want to add to our training that we haven't really discussed in the past is the benefit of having three-way calls. And three-way calls can be with you, the new person, and your sponsor, or you, the new person, and myself. You know, what we're trying to accomplish by this, and this is something I want you to write down because you may not feel comfortable with it right now, but that's okay. It's one of those things that we're going to try to develop here. If somebody is new, think of it as you're coming on to this business like you did when you started. And I don't know if your welcoming to the team went beyond being added to a few team pages, or whether or not you connected with the people that are your upline. You need to have at least 1 to 2 people that you know you could go to if you needed a question answered. So this is where this 3-way calling comes in. And I want to commit to you that I want to do a lot more of this because I see the value in it. I've talked to enough people that have discussed with me that their ability to rank up in their business, they can directly tie that to the fact that they know the people that are under them. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have a 3-way call with your level 11 or 12, okay? That's going to need to be with their sponsor and maybe their sponsor. But I'm talking definitely your 1 through 3s. I have a pretty good grasp, but not as good as it could be, on the people that are my level 1 through 3s. That means the people that I've personally sponsored and then 2 more levels down. So once we get on a call, it's important for us to really talk to them about the basics, okay? They're going to need to have a pretty firm grasp on product knowledge, okay? And with their new success kit, there's an excellent little cards that are in they're in a little package, and we got them at Super Saturday, and so they can look through that to kind of learn about the product. So if you get a new person, you got to keep thinking back to what was it like when I was new. You know, for me, Rainey and I really did not get trained. We kind of trained ourselves and walked through the muck together. So I really want to kind of make it easier now that we have so many more resources in the 3 years that I've been doing this. So you don't want to overwhelm somebody that's new, because I know for myself, just trying to understand about the products and trying to understand about retail, preferred, wholesale, that's kind of enough for somebody that's new. But it's also important for us on those calls with people, even if you can't arrange a 3-way, try to call the person that you've sponsored, and within the next day or 2 after you've sponsored them. This is really, really imperative, guys, because you want them to understand. It would be like if you started a job and they just threw you in there and said, sorry, I don't know how to train you on the computer, but here's, have at it. I've had jobs like that, y'all, and it's really, really hard when you have such a huge learning curve, and it's almost easy to give up when you don't feel like you know as much as you need to. So in these calls, what we want to be discussing is product knowledge, which we've already discussed, basic comp plan knowledge, which there's also a great little pamphlet in the success kit, the new success kit that everybody will be getting when they sign on, that talks about the compensation plan. If you yourself don't know the compensation plan and can't basically explain it to people, then please get with your sponsor or get with me. I would love to help you understand that better. I know that was one of the things that was really hard for me when I started. So in this call that you're going to have with a new person, you're also going to go over that success kit. And so this is going to be great when the success kits are available for us to buy in the back office when they get here, because I would really like everybody to spend the $16 or whatever to get yourself one, especially those that don't have one yet. Because you're not going to be able to go through a kit with a newbie if you don't have one yourself. So I think that's a great toolkit for having people be able to succeed in their business. It's not too much information. It might feel like it at the beginning. But these are the things that you're gonna want to discuss with a new person. Kind of find out why are you doing this, so they can kind of learn to develop their why, because that's going to be their fuel for doing this. And if you don't train those newbies, you're going to have a lot of people walking around that don't know what they're doing. And they're probably going to give up, and they're probably not going to duplicate because you haven't shown them the way. And you know what? That's okay if you don't know the way right now. If you don't know the way, get with your sponsor. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel like you've gotten everything you need from your sponsor, please reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. We will have a call. If you have people that are on your, that are maybe you have 2 or 3 ambassadors and you don't know how to explain something to them, we can have a Zoom call on it and just have everybody on there. I want to be more available for you guys to help you guys. Because what I'm seeing is there's a lot of people that are saying, I want to get to this goal. I want to get to this goal. And they reach it and then they fall back and they go, well, this person left, this person quit, I just need to get a whole new team. Okay, guys, that's not what we need to do. We need to take a look in the mirror and realize maybe we're the catalyst for them not being able to do the best. Maybe we're the ones that's not showing them a duplicatable way. And you know what? I'm not here to finger point. It comes from the top down, and I haven't been the best at really getting involved in the nitty-gritty with like levels far down, because I assume, oh, my level ones have got it together. But that's not necessarily the case. Just because you've done it for a while doesn't mean that you have all the answers. And I surely don't have all the answers, but together we can to figure this out. And then it's so important to keep people engaged. This is very important, because if nobody follows up with them, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody's checking in on me. It's very important that if you have an ambassador that has set a goal and they say, my first goal is I want to get to silver, well, you need to contact that person. You need to be their cheerleader. You need to be the one to say, okay, last time we talked last week, you said you wanted to get 3. Where are you in that? Well, I've gotten 1. That's great. You only have 2 more to get. And so you help them stay accountable for the goals that they've set for themselves. And sometimes people don't set their goals very high. They don't dream very big because they think, oh, I won't ever accomplish that. But I really encourage you guys to dream big, because you will reach the small goals pretty quickly, I have found. You'll need to help troubleshoot with them if they have customers or even ambassadors under them that need some help with tweaking some products. Maybe they need to take something out and take it at a different time, or maybe they need to add some products to the line. Like Amy was saying, that when she added her accelerator, she was able to do different things than before she was not on the accelerator. So there's so many things that as a beginning leader, we have to learn to instill that in people, because most of us did not get in this to be leaders, business leaders. And when you look at the people under you that are looking to you to be their guide, to be their way, then they're going to need to have simple, duplicatable procedures. And being able to follow up with people is huge. That's a huge part of them being successful. Self-development books, we all know that there's great self-development books out there. If there's some that you guys don't know about or want to read more about, though, that's something that I can help you with, as well as other people. Be careful not to push people out of the nest too quickly. I think that can be, we can almost sometimes when we get started with people have like a checklist, like, okay, I talked to them about the comp plan. I talked to them about, being a product of the product. They gave me their goals. Okay. But you know what? Until they really, really get it down and they feel confident that they can do this on their own, you really need to be the mother bird and keep them in the nest. Now, I'm not talking about creating codependent relationships where people are afraid to ever step out of the nest. That's not what we want to create here. We want to create duplicatable behaviors that are income producing, that will grow our teams, and that will allow us to also develop ourselves as leaders by taking on a different role. Once somebody has kind of gotten the basics, then, and they feel, and you feel like they can kind of go off maybe on their own a little bit, maybe have a team call, maybe have a team meeting, maybe have a little meeting at their home or online. That's what we're edging toward. We're trying to create people that know how to fish for themselves, and they don't always have to come back to you for every little answer. And so we want to encourage, I know there's a lot of you guys that are starting this because I've talked to you guys, but local meetings, if you're off somewhere where you don't have anyone else that is a Plexus person, you're going to have to rely on networking. And that's going to be in whatever capacity that you feel comfortable, whether that's with if you work a second job, if you are a part of some kind of a club, do you work out, do you go to church, are you in a Bible study, whatever that looks like for you. But you're going to have to start local, and you're going to have to start really reaching out to people, and that's where it kind of gets kind of the nitty gritty of it, and you can put your nose to the grindstone when it comes to that. When you are working closely with those people that are on your team, I want you to understand this. I want you to match effort with effort, okay? Now, what that means is you're going to want to run with your runners. The people that you see really get it, okay? I don't want you to focus on the ones that are always relying on you to call them. Always rely, you need to be the one that, of course, keeps up with these people. But if they show no interest on their part in meeting you for coffee or meeting you for lunch, or they're constantly canceling an appointment, or something comes up and they just can't do it, okay? Those aren't your runners. Those are people that are making excuses, okay? And so what you want to do is you want to match effort for effort. If you see them really reaching out and wanting to, if they're on they're on team calls. I mean, pretty much every one of you guys that are on here consistently. That shows that you are invested here. You're not going to want to spend a lot of time on someone that's not invested, because there's a lot of other people that you could be reaching out there. I'm not saying give up on anybody, but you just have to use discretion. I've done this long enough to understand that there was people at the beginning that I really wanted it for them because I saw their potential, but they didn't see it in themselves. And those are where you have to learn, and you just learn it as you go along. There's no course you can take, but you just start to learn, okay, is this person really vested in this? Are they taking this seriously? Are they posting stuff on Facebook? Are they talking about people? And this is what you're going to find when you talk to them on a consistent basis. You're going to find, oh yeah, their goal was to talk to 5 people. Well, how many did they talk to? Well, you're going to know that if you're following up with them. And you can challenge them to keep moving forward. If their goals aren't met, then you just push them out a little ways. But you have to keep following up, following up, following up. That is where you're going to find that people are going to keep coming back, coming back. You just recircle. If the goal wasn't met this time, then you say, all right, let's write it down again for the goal for the next time that we talk. So I had posted on the page today, and several of you have already commented about going silver, okay? That's the first goal. And there's some of you on this call that are already beyond silver, and that's okay, but you can still always go silver again every month. That's really kind of the goal. And I don't mean you're going to get a $100 bonus every time. I'm saying you're going to try to get 3 qualified ambassadors under you. And those are going to come from people that are customers and people that may have been a customer for a while. Hang on, I got to put my glasses on so I can see my own notes. One of the other things that I like to do, and this may not be your personality, and if not, that's okay, but if it is, do it. I like to send out encouraging little note cards to people when they do something that I see they've really either gone out on the branch kind of by themselves and really stepped out of their comfort zone. I just like to encourage people because, you know what, in regular America, most of the time we don't have people that surround us that are always building us up. And so I want to be conscientious and be uplifting for those people when you do reach your goals and you do reach your accomplishments that you set. The next thing I want to talk about is, are you applying what you are educating yourself on? So it's great to read books. It's great to, have camaraderie and fellowship with other people like on this page and stuff and on this call. But are you really taking the things that when you read these books that help you, self-help books and self-development books, those things that you underline, are you really doing those? I usually underline and I go back and I write it out on a separate sheet. That may not work for you, but really applying the things that you are learning is what's going to teach you to duplicate to the next person below you. So when you talk to these people on three-way or on a two-way call, when you're talking to them and you're talking about accountability, one of the things that is a big deal is you can say, you know, walk me through your week. Show me what your week has looked like, because they've most likely you're going to start a schedule with these people. So you're going to know, I keep a spiral when I meet with people and I write down what they told me they wanted to accomplish. And then when I call them or when we get back together again, I say, okay, you said last time that you wanted to have 3 new customers. How many do you have now? And I write it down. So did they meet their goal? And if they didn't, how can I help them? How can I encourage them to reach the goal by the next time that we meet or the next time that we talk? The answers are not going to be found in just getting a better team. I've already said that. The answers are going to be found in consistently following up with your customers, consistently following up with your ambassadors, and troubleshooting anything that needs to be dealt with. Also, when you are a leader, you have to maintain the balance between filling your own cup so that you have something to pour out into other people. So the things that are your self-development things, such as, like Amy did, she's given her testimony today. That develops you. The more you share your testimony, the more second nature it gets to be. And we all know that testimonies are what really sell the product, because we're not really selling anything. We're just sharing ourselves. And when people feel that we can be trusted and that they build a rapport with us, then that's going to get them, you're going to give them the credibility that they need to make a decision as to whether or not this product touches their heart, that they need it, that they see a real need for the product. So we've already talked about modeling the behaviors that we want to duplicate. And if we're not modeling those behaviors, we don't need to show of hands. But if you're not, if you're not, why aren't you if you aren't? Take a little time to self-assess, because a lot of times it's easy to point the finger at other people and say, well, it's just my team. They're not interested. They don't respond to anything that I say, and they don't do my contests, which, by the way, I had that contest last week for $50 to anyone that could add 3 people, just like the one before that Delana Hill won. And I am a little bit sad that no one took me up on it. So maybe we'll have another contest soon. But when you are looking for people, whether this is a customer or ambassadors, I want you to do this. I want you to think about the people in your life that you have already shown themselves to have leadership qualities. Okay, so what I mean is PTA moms. Do you know somebody that's always volunteering to do projects in your women's group? Do you feel like this person that you used to work with, that was a project manager at some point for you, was she really good, or he really good at keeping everybody together? Were you, we all know people that we would want to have on our team, that we would want to do life with. And then there's those that not so much, right? So when you're looking for people, don't just look out on the fringe and be like, oh yeah, they look good. Yeah, she'd do good because she needs to make money. We can't look at our businesses that way. We can't be the reason for this person to get into this business. They really have to have their own deep down motivation. Maybe it's like Amy. She couldn't get up off the floor and she used to be able to do that. Maybe it's somebody that, used to run in triathlons and marathons, and now they, aren't back in that shape again, but you can help them. So look for people with leadership qualities and someone who is uplifting, somebody that is positive. You're not going to want to find the person that you see post on Facebook all the time that everything's wrong with their life. You don't want that, because that's just going to inhibit your ability to keep things positive and to keep the vibes flowing. You want to find people who seek out the best in others, that aren't always the one picking and, nitpicking everybody apart. People that maintain positive attitudes. And, maybe it's somebody that wants to quit a job, stay home with their kids, or stay home with their grandkids, or stay for vacation. We can't look at people and kind of come up with our reason why we think they should do this or they'd be good at this, because that doesn't always translate into somebody that would be a good leader. So anyway, there is the recap for us back to basics. Now what I'd like to do is